Hey everybody, so excited to have you join me tonight to talk about Disneyland Paris. I added some information in the top of the screen, hopefully you can see that. If there's any technical issues, let me know. Hi Becca, good to see you. But just a little bit about me to start. My name is Jenny Bond, and I'm a travel agent with Marvelous Mouse Travels. And I specialize in Disney destinations, Universal, cruises, all-inclusives, and I just love to help you with your family's trip planning. So my family just got back from a trip to London and Paris, and with that trip, we got to go to Disneyland Paris. So I've been really excited to share some of the information I got, a few tips, and answer any questions that you have about Disneyland Paris. So we will have a giveaway, and to qualify for that giveaway, I just want you to comment sometime during the live Facebook event here so that I can see that you are here and participating. So you can comment with a question or comment hello. And hi Amy, glad to have you here. But yeah, just in the comments, just put your questions. But I'll start out with some information and then get to most of the questions at the end. So stick around. In the giveaway, I'll show you what I'm giving away at the end. So stick around because it's gonna be fun. Okay. Also in the information up there, I have my quote form. So if you want to go to Disneyland Paris or any Disney destination, just use that quote form, or you can email me at jenny.bond@marvelousmousetravels.com, and that is in there. Also, if you want to follow me on Facebook or Instagram, that information is also in there. But for your information, facebook.com/Jenny, Jenny, Travels. The same thing for Instagram. Instagram.com/Jenny, Travels. And on Instagram, because I'm not able to show my pictures because I can't share my screen with you. But you can go to my Instagram and see in the highlight bubbles, I have one for Disneyland Paris, so you can see all my pictures from Disneyland Paris. So please do that, because if you want to know more about Disneyland Paris, it's a really visual journey on there. So, so help yourself to that. And I'm going to just refer to my notes a little bit so I don't forget anything. I stay on track, because that can be hard when you're talking live here. So, so forgive me for that. But yeah, we just got back from Disneyland Paris. We spent 2 nights there and spent 2 days in the parks. We stayed at the Newport Bay Club, which is an on-site hotel, in a Compass Club family room. So it is club level. They have 2 floors of club level rooms, and they have a lounge where you can get free drinks. With that club level, also breakfast is included every day, which was great. They had amazing French pastries. They had fresh honeycomb that just the honey trickled down. It was in a board, and the honey just trickled down into this little pool where you got the honey from. How fun. You also get, with club level, you get 1 hotel fast pass a day, which is really cool. It is a fast pass that you can just go in the fast pass line without scheduling, but it's for 1 ride per day for each person in your party. So that's kind of cool. With club level, you get those benefits. So that was kind of fun. The Newport Bay Club, if you're familiar with Beach Club, it has that similar, or Yacht Club, it has that similar nautical feeling to it. My kids felt like they were on a Disney cruise ship because they had little circle room numbers like they have on the Disney Cruise Line, with your room number across it on the doors. So that was kind of fun. At the hotels, they have restaurants, they have shops, they have the shuttles that you can use, the free shuttles. Our hotel was a 15-minute walk or a 5-minute shuttle ride. So it was pretty close. And you did feel like you were in that Disney bubble a little bit, because they have their whole area with several different hotels around there in different price categories. So whether you are more of a basic or whether you want to go full blown for the highest room category at the best hotel, that's all available to you. So one great thing that we found out while we were there, we didn't expect, they were having a food festival. And I kept this to show you. This was the little brochure. And it was basically, it was at the Walt Disney Studios Park. There are 2 parks at Disneyland Paris. One is Disneyland Park, and one is Walt Disney Studios. So this was kind of fun. They had this map, and it represents the areas that the foods were from. And then they had this that just went through all the different, sorry, I can't see myself, all the different areas, all the different booths, and kind of what they had at the booths, and then like the location of them along here. But we stopped at some and had a pretzel and had an eclair. The eclair was to die for. It was pistachio raspberry. It was so good. Hi, Denise. Thanks for joining. So that's kind of fun and unexpected, because I didn't know they were having that. But I am a big fan of the Walt Disney, the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. And so to discover that they were having this was so exciting. So that was great. All right, so arriving at Disneyland Paris. So there are some options. If you are coming from Paris, if you're staying at Paris for a little while, in Paris for a little while, then going to Disneyland Paris, because Disneyland Paris is about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Paris. You can arrange to there's a taxi, you can do that. You can also arrange to take a train. The train ride is so direct, like it goes right to the entrance of the parks, basically the same place that the shuttles go. So you are dropped off from the train straight at Disneyland Paris. They have their own train stop, so that's pretty amazing. So you can take the train. Also, if you are coming from directly from the airport, they have airport shuttles. They're not free like at Walt Disney World. You have to pay for them. I think they were about $20 a person. And you have to transport your own luggage onto the shuttle. But that's another option that takes you straight there. The buses are really comfortable. We took one back to the airport when we went. So it was great. It was easy. And you can arrange that ahead of time. If you're working with a Marvelous Mouse travel agent, they can arrange that for you. You can talk to the front desk when you get there if you haven't arranged one yet, and they'll help you also. So you can arrange it on the website. It's really easy. It's called Magical Shuttles, I think. So that was great. Hi, Carrie. Glad you're here. Okay, so Disneyland Paris, amazing. Disneyland Park, the one with the castle. The castle is so gorgeous. It is the prettiest, in my opinion, so far. I haven't been to the Asian parks, but the prettiest Disneyland castle I have seen. We were blown away. We had seen pictures in person, but when we got there, it was just so magnificent. It has so many of the little spires. It has grass growing on the side of it. It has a little waterfall off the side. And then the trees are manicured like in little cubes. They are so cute. And then the experience of the castle, you can go in and you go up the stairs, and in the top there's a room that is filled with pictures that tell the story of Sleeping Beauty. There are a whole bunch that are stained glass, and there are some that are tapestries. And then they have a life-size spinning wheel right there too. So that's really fun. Then when you get done with that, you can go down below the castle to the dragon's lair. And the dragon is giant, animatronic, and amazing. So you feel like you're witnessing and in the presence of a real dragon. There's little pools of water, and it'll be sleeping for a while. Then it'll suddenly like wake up and come to life and, roar and bellow, and its tail moves. And it was really cool. We stood there for quite a while just watching the dragon. So that was really cool. So if you go to Disneyland Paris, that will be a must on your list. Just love that. And then a lot of the rides, it's set up similarly to Disneyland or Magic Kingdom, but it's smaller. It has some rides that are very similar and some that are unique to Disneyland Paris, and I'll go over a few of those in a minute. But that kind of sets your expectations for what that's like, a lot like Disneyland or Magic Kingdom. Then Walt Disney Studios is a much smaller park. The feeling is similar to Hollywood Studios, but there are not as many attractions. They're going to be doing a big expansion, and I'll get into some of that in a little bit too. But they also have some rides that I've seen before and some that are unique. But like I said, they're doing a whole transformation. So in 10 years, it's going to be a completely different park with a lot of different things there. Hotels, there's 8 different hotels on site. I told you about mine, which was Newport Bay Club. I'm not going to get into every single hotel, but the Disneyland Hotel is so cool because it is right above the ticket booths for Disneyland. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine staying there right at the ticket booths, above the ticket booths? Hi, Tammy. Hi, Tammy. Welcome. Glad you were here. So yeah, the Disneyland Hotel is right above the ticket booths. So it's up here and you go under it to enter the park. How cool is that? When we saw that, we were thinking, oh my gosh, why don't we stay here? So it's amazing. I just think it would be the best thing for breaks, for saving time, and then being able to see the fireworks from your hotel, from your room possibly, so easily. I mean, it's just amazing. Hi, Natalie. Thanks for joining. Okay, some perks that you get with staying on site. Okay. There is extra magic hours, and extra magic hours are in the morning. They advertise them as an hour before opening, but the parks opened at 10 o'clock while we were there. Extra magic hours were from 8:30 to 9:30. So that's kind of a little interesting because you have that half-hour gap there, but they start at 8:30, so you can really get in an hour and a half early. So that's kind of cool. And I would definitely recommend doing that. Fantasyland is open. Not everything is open, but Fantasyland is open. Some of the things they call it Discoveryland. It's similar to Tomorrowland. Some of those things are open. So you can get in and go to Peter Pan or some other things that have longer lines before everybody else gets in there. And with only 8 on-site hotels, there aren't as many people going for extra magic hour as there are at Walt Disney World, so it's a great perk. Some of the other perks, of course, staying in the Magic and Disneyland Hotel, staying right there. Some other ones, they have package delivery, and it is the same day. It will be there by 8 p.m. The night that you buy your souvenirs or whatever you buy. They will deliver it by 8 p.m. So that's really great. Also, okay, I brought my little packet. This is the packet that they give you, well, for Compass Club. When we checked in. And these are your tickets when you stay on site. They have paper tickets for other people, but when you stay on site, you get this Magic Pass. And it is your ticket, it is your room key. You can set up as your charge card. So that's great. So that's handy. And so if you have a lanyard or something, that can work well. You also use this for your Fast Pass too. Their Fast Pass system, I'll get into a little bit, but it's a little bit old school, but has some special different things too. So that's your ticket if you stay on site. Otherwise, it's a paper ticket. Another perk, the free shuttle or walking if you would like to walk. Like I said, about a 15-minute walk. That's not too bad. And you have the option to charge to your room. So those are some of the perks. Oh, one other one is they do have dining plans, and if you stay on site, you can add a dining plan to your package. So there you go. Oh, an exciting hotel that's coming in 2020 is they're renovating the New York Hotel, and it is going to have a Marvel theme. Won't that be fun? Oh, I'm so excited. That's so cool. I wish it had been done already. My kids would love to stay there. They love Marvel. Okay, getting into some of the rides. I brought a map back to show you. Here's the map. And it's both of the parks in one map. This is good through September. And it's the English version because I speak English. And it has some tips, has restaurants and a guide to the meal plans and the types of restaurants. And then when you open it, they have one map on the top, one map on the bottom with all the rides. So there's, hello. There is what Disneyland Paris looks like. There we go. You can see, it looks pretty big there. It is pretty big, but not on the same scale as like Magic Kingdom. But it's set up similarly, you know, with the central hub and Main Street and the different lands. You can see the pink is Fantasyland right over there. So you can see that. I'll just give you a minute to look at that. See the castle in the middle. Yeah, that's fun. And then here is Walt Disney Studios. And even though they blew it up this size, the same size as the other park, it is not at all the same size. It's much smaller. And you can see there's not quite as many attractions or restaurants or things. But like I said, they're going to have a huge expansion. So you can see Tower of Terror on there. It's still the Tower of Terror theme. So that's fun. So I wanted to show you that to give you a visual, since I don't have pictures. But some of our favorite things, let's see, at Disneyland Park, Big Thunder Mountain was epic. It was just amazing. They have it on a little island in the middle of the water. So the queue is on the regular land, not with the island. And then when you go on the ride, you end up going through an underwater tunnel to get to the island. And on the way back, you go through an underwater tunnel again to get back to the queue for the exit. Isn't that cool? And the theming was amazing. We felt like it was longer than the other Thunder Mountain rides. They have a lot of cacti scenes, or I was corrected, it's not cacti, cactus scenes on there, and just some really cool things. It was just amazing. We loved Big Thunder Mountain there. Phantom Manor is the equivalent of Haunted Mansion there, and it has the same ride track, but I think it's a little bit longer, but it has a unique story. And then all the things inside, most of the things inside are different. So it's really cool. The theme is a bride, well, it's a long story, but there's a bride who all of her suitors keep having disasters happen to them. And then she's going to get married to this one guy, and the phantom kills him. And she is left wondering what happened to him. That's kind of the theme. It's a little bit darker than the Haunted Mansion, and there's some like more realistic looking skeletons in there. So just know that going in, if you have little kids that might get frightened by that, but it's not really gruesome or anything like that. It's still Disney haunted. So that's okay. Yeah. Becca, yes. Underwater tunnels. Isn't that cool? You can't see through the water. It's like a dark tube, but it gets really dark as you go through it. So you go down and then you come up. And it feels like you're going faster and faster during that part. I think you are, but it's really cool. So we love that. Hyperspace Mountain is their version of Space Mountain. And I know they've done an overlay at Disneyland before, but this is permanent here, Hyperspace Mountain. And it is a Star Wars theme. And my son came off saying it was his favorite Disneyland ride ever. And all of us felt like it was our favorite Space Mountain ever, because they have the Star Wars music, which is so fun and gets you excited for the ride. And then they have the graphics of the ships and the shooting lasers going off in the dark. It was great. So definitely recommend that if you're a Space Mountain fan, if you're a Star Wars fan, roller coaster fan. So great. Those were all at Disneyland Park. Oh, another one there was the Labyrinth, which is not a ride. Alice's Curious Labyrinth. it was more of it's a walkthrough attraction, but it's a hedge maze that is amazing, and it goes on for a lot longer than you expect it to. And it is not child size, it's adult size hedges. And it has an Alice in Wonderland theme. So you walk through and you're going in these little circles and you come to dead ends and you have to move around. And then you come to things like, there is the caterpillar there and he's animatronic and his foot is wiggling and he's smoking on his, whatever that thing's called, I can't remember. And then you go through another part and there's these little water fountains that are spurting up. And there's the dodo bird in the middle. And then you walk over here and the Queen of Hearts jumps out and says, off with their heads. Or sometimes in French, she says it, which I don't know what that is. And then one of the card guys flips out and stops your path. And then finally you get to a castle, the Queen of Hearts castle. And you can go all the way up and the view is spectacular. And the castle's fun because it has like things like magic mirrors inside and things like that. But that was a really fun and cute attraction at Disneyland Paris that I've never seen anywhere else. So I had to tell you about that one. At Walt Disney Studios, they have the studio tour, the backlot tour that they used to have at Walt Disney World. It's not exactly the same, but some of the scenes are the same. But if you miss that from Walt Disney World, you can go to it at Disneyland Paris. There you go. And it's a great time to get out of the sun and just relax and get off your feet for a while. The Ratatouille ride, which is coming to Epcot, was amazing. Unlike anything I've ever seen before, it combined little mouse cars that kind of went not in a direct motion, but kind of in circle kind of motions, and went from scene to scene. Each scene had really large scale things. Some of the things, were things that you'd see at the restaurant, but they were the size as if you were a mouse. They were really large. And then they had screens, and it was 3D. So they had some virtual reality type things that you would go, and then there'd be a big screen with, like going through the sewer pipe, and splashing down. And those were done really well. Sometimes I get sick from those virtual things, but I didn't. It was really great. I love that ride. I'm so excited to see it at Epcot. And then they had Crush's Coaster, which you're in like a turtle shell, like Crush's shell from Finding Nemo. And it goes on more of kind of a wild mouse track, but the shell is spinning a lot from side to side. I didn't end up going on that one because I wasn't feeling well before the ride, but the rest of my family did, and they really enjoyed it. And so it was a really fun roller coaster with a lot of effects and scenery from Finding Nemo, like Bruce the shark was chasing you, things like that. So that's fun. Okay, restaurants. They have table service, counter service, kiosks, all of that same stuff, buffets. We did, which is more Indian Mediterranean food, and it's a buffet. They don't have like a kids section with macaroni and cheese, chicken nuggets, things like that. But they do have some things mixed in there that my picky eater liked. They had meatballs, they had pasta, like penne pasta with tomato sauce, some things like that. But mostly it was, hummus, there was naan bread, there were different fish and chicken dishes, there was kebab, a lot of different things, but definitely caters to that more Mediterranean palate. So we loved it, and my kids begged to go back the second day, even my pickiest eater. But you have to keep that in mind when you're thinking about who's going to go there if that works for your palate. Tammy, for the rides, is the language French or English? Good question. The rides, they kind of switch back and forth. Some are completely in French, some are completely in English, and some go back and forth. Like you'll hear it in French and then you'll hear it in English. So like Star Tours was completely in French, but I heard that sometimes it's in English. So it might just depend on when you get in there. But the great thing is we don't speak French. My son took French, but he just remembers a few words, a few phrases. But we didn't encounter any problem there. Everybody we talked to spoke at least some English, and it was easy to communicate with people. So just when we went up and started talking to people, even though we knew like a few phrases, we'd start with hello so that they would know that we spoke English, and then they'd just start speaking in English. So it was really easy. Becca, you can't wait for the ride to come. I know, it's gonna be so great. I can't wait. Okay, Chef Remy, or Chez, I don't know how to say it. C-H-E-Z, Chez Remy. It's not chef because I read that word means like the house of Remy, so it's like Remy's house. That restaurant is the most popular one and supposed to be one of the best ones in between the two parks. We weren't able to go there, so I peeked in and it was awesome. Like you sit in tables that are made out of things like bottle caps for the chair backs and things like that. So you're mouse-sized, and everything's made out of interesting things, and the food's supposed to be amazing, French food. But we didn't get to go there. The other restaurant we went to was the Silver Spur Steakhouse, and it was a steakhouse, and it had just like rich woods inside and things like that in Frontierland, and yeah, steak and salmon, those kinds of things. And we went to Toad Hall for one of our casual meals, like our counter service meals, and it was fish and chips, amazing fish and chips. The fish was like this size, and so it was huge and it was delicious. We ended up getting 2 double fish things and just sling them with our family of 5, and it was plenty of food for us. They have some other things there too, but the fish and chips is like what you go there for. And it has a Toad Hall theme inside, so Frog and Toad, so everything has like pictures of Frog and Toad doing different things and things like memorabilia that would be from the movie if they had used, it's a cartoon, so they didn't really use that stuff in the movie, right? Snack kiosks. There were a lot of the same kinds of things over and over. Not as much diversity as the American parks, but crepes, yum. They had Nutella or sugar crepes. The sugar one was my favorite. Candied apples were everywhere. Marshmallow treats were everywhere. They had fresh spun cotton candy that you could get, not in any special shape, but just regular pink cotton candy. And then they had a bunch of different treats for the Lion King. They had a special Lion King theme going on right now, as a lot of the other parks do. So they had those. Popcorn everywhere, which you'd expect from Disney. No churros. They did have some pretzels, but not very many. Miscellaneous things, but not as much diversity or specialty foods as I've seen at some of the other parks. Their bakery and their sweet shop were really amazing. They had lots of donuts. They had different muffins and pastries at the bakery. Then the sweet shop had a lot, again, of marshmallow treats. They had a Mickey meringue that was amazing. It was like the head was this big with the ears, and we got the one that had the ears dipped in chocolate, and it was so good. So good. They had cookies, Mickey-shaped cookies, things like that. Fudge that was amazing, and they were in the shape and size of a butter stick. So great fudge. Let's see. Fast passes. So the fast pass system there works like the old paper fast pass system. So you take your ticket and you take it up to the fast pass kiosk and you scan it and it gives you a return time. But the return time is 30 minutes instead of an hour. So you have to plan on a shorter window to use that in. So you have that. Then they have a paid fast pass system. So I printed this off so I could get the details correct for you, because we did not do this, but is an option. So they have Superfast Pass, and with Superfast Pass, you pay for our trip, it would have been $55 a day. And you get a one-time Fast Pass access to 3 rides. Either the ones, no, to 3 rides. Either Ratatouille, Peter Pan, and Buzz Lightyear, or Star Wars, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Twilight Zone. So you have to choose. And then you get Fast Pass access one time. That means you don't have to schedule the Fast Pass. You can just go up and go through the line. And then Ultimate Fast Pass, they have 2 options. One is one time through every line, so you can go through all the Fast Pass rides once, or they have unlimited. This is kind of like Universal Orlando does, right, with their system. So they have 9 Fast Pass rides between the 2 parks, 3 at Walt Disney Studios, and then the other 6 are at Disneyland Park. And the prices for the Ultimate Fast Pass, for one time, it was $109 per person per day. For unlimited, it was $181 per person per day. So you can keep that in mind. Okay, some tips. I already mentioned this, but most people speak English there, so you don't have to worry about that. Hi, Jessica, you're hungry now. Me too, I haven't eaten yet. So yeah, sign me up for some more Disney food. Yeah, most people speak English. So if you don't speak French, you don't have to worry about it. We found that throughout Paris too, when we were in Paris. We didn't have any problem. Of course, we were at touristy places the whole time, but we didn't have any problem with just speaking English. They do have an app, the Disneyland Paris app. It's a yellow and blue little icon, their official app. And it's not as functional as some of the other Disney apps, but it does have, it's good for wait times and for the map if you want to use it for interactive map stuff. And then you can look at the restaurants and things like that, but you can't, even though it says book the restaurant, if you click on that, it tells you to call a phone number. So, so it's mostly for looking at wait times and then the map, but they do have the app. Oh, the entrance. So when we got there, we found that the lines, the day that we got there and we didn't get to do extra magic hours, the lines were really far back. And so we just kind of scoot around the line to the outer edges, and the lines were like 10 people compared to probably 50 or more people. So just look for a short line on one of the sides. Also the same thing with extra magic hours. When you get there, going to the right to one of the short little lines on the side works really well. Hi, Jody. Glad to have you here. Okay. Okay, they accept credit cards throughout the park, and that's what we use primarily. But one time the whole system went down and they couldn't use credit cards anywhere in the park. And we had brought euros too, so we were okay. But just something to keep in mind, to bring euros, because I heard that happens on a regular basis. So use your cards, but bring euros too, so that you can pay for things if they have that go down. It didn't go down all day. It was down for a couple of hours, but it was down while we were eating, while we were paying at the restaurant. So we were glad that we had those euros. Let's see. I recommend staying on site. They do have some off-site partner hotels that sound really good too. But I just love the perks of staying on site and the easy access, especially Disneyland Hotel would be my #1 go-to. If you could stay there, it's just magical and right there at the park entrance. Recommend 2 days, at least 2 days. One of the Walt Disney Studios Park took us about half a day, but then Disneyland Paris, we spent another half a day and then a whole day, and we still didn't get to do everything that we wanted to do. But I think 2 days is good. 2 to 3 is what I would recommend for Disneyland Paris if you get to go. It was just great. It was definitely the most beautiful Disney park that we've been to, and some of the rides were just spectacular. So, all right, upcoming additions to Disneyland Paris. This is going to be fun because it's a 2 billion euro transformation that they've announced, which is like $2.5 billion. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be over several years. The first that they announced next year, 2020, the Hotel New York will be transformed into a Marvel theme, and it will be open next summer sometime. So that'll be cool. And then starting in 2021, they'll have some various different things starting. Some point after that, they'll have a Marvel Land. Yay. The Rock and Roller Coaster will be transformed into a Marvel theme. So that'll be interesting. And then the whole Marvel Land. Walt Disney Studios is going to have a new lake that will be their focal point in the park. Right now, they don't have a lake at Walt Disney Studios. So that'll be cool. Then they also have announced Star Wars Land is going to come there. I don't know how similar it will be to Galaxy's Edge, if it will be the same or if it will be different. I'm not sure. But then they also have, this is unique, Frozen. So they're going to have the whole Arendelle village and the castle. And I think that's going to be so cool. I haven't heard of that anywhere else yet. Has anybody else heard that being announced somewhere else? I don't know. I haven't. So that's going to be really exciting. So let's see. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions? I was trying to answer these couple that came in as they were coming up, but does anybody have any questions right now for me about Disneyland Paris? And have you been to Disneyland Paris before? Do you want to go? I assume since you're here that you want to go. I don't see anybody typing. So just want to remind you that if you want to book a Disneyland Paris vacation, you can reach out to me. I'd love to help you. You can also reach out to one of the other Marvelous Mouse travel agents if you are already working with one of them. But you can book by using, you can get a free quote by using my quote form, tinyurl.com/Jenny MMT, which is in the description, or email me at jenny.bond@marvelousmousetravels.com. And I'd love to work with you. Also, if you aren't following me, my Facebook is in there. It's facebook.com/Jenny MMTravels. The same thing, Instagram, where I have all my Disneyland Paris pictures in my highlight. Instagram.com/Jenny MMTravels. And I have some upcoming lives. The next few weeks, I'll be doing Monday Nights with MMT, which is a series that a lot of different agents are doing across the board in all of our groups. So if you have another vacation coming up for Walt Disney World, for an all-inclusive, for a cruise, just look for one of our groups. And on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time, there may be a live in there where the agents will talk about different tips, give information, and then answer your questions. So it's great. But I have coming up next Monday, August 5th, I'll be in the Hawaii group talking about the Big Island. August 12th, I'll be here in the Disneyland group again talking about fall at Disneyland, which is one of my favorite times at Disneyland, and Christmas. And then August 19th, I'll be in the Disney Cruise Line group talking about Castaway Cay. And then September 30th, that's a little ways off, I'll be in the Walt Disney World group talking about Magic Bands. So I'd love to have you join me in there. That would be really fun. But make sure you've commented if you're in here, because those who have commented will be entered into the giveaway. Let me show you what I'm giving away. I picked this up just for you at Disneyland Paris. So it's a little coin purse from Disneyland Paris. I knew I was going to do this live when I went, so I was looking for something to give away. Isn't that cute? I think it's so cute. And then there's something inside. So if you are thinking about if you're planning a trip soon to Disneyland Paris, I'll give you €10 in your little purse. If you are not, you can have $10, which you can use towards your next trip. Snack money, because we're all hungry because of all the Disney snacks, or towards whatever you want. But that will be, I'll look in the comments and randomly pick somebody to receive this in the mail, and I will contact you. So I'll do that after the live. Isn't that cute? I'm wishing I had bought one for myself. Why didn't I buy one of these for myself? I don't know. Anyways, it's been so great having all of you here. And oh, there are some questions. Oops, I almost missed those. Jessica, where did I stay? Okay, yeah, it was at the beginning, but I stayed at the Newport Bay Club Hotel, which is an on-site hotel, 15-minute walk, 5-minute shuttle ride. We stayed in a Compass Club room, family room, and enjoyed that very much. So it was great, and there were the club perks, which is nice, with the food and some other great perks that they offer for Compass Club level. Becca, did I see any gluten-free options at the food services? I didn't. We don't have anybody who eats gluten-free in our family. I don't remember specifically seeing like a gluten-free menu or anything like that. But again, I wasn't looking for it. So I'm not sure if they had, I'm sure that they would try to be accommodating of gluten-free eaters. They had a lot of vegetarian options and vegan options. There are a lot of people there who eat vegetarian. So I saw a lot of that, but I don't remember specifically seeing gluten-free. I did see a gluten-free section at the hotel's breakfast buffet. So they may have had some at the other restaurants that I didn't notice. But yeah, I didn't notice that, sorry. So I almost missed those questions. I'm glad I scrolled down a little bit. Okay, if there's anybody else who has anything, I'll just stand here for just a second longer. But yeah, we love Disneyland Paris. It was so fantastic. And I hope all of you guys get to go because we just really enjoyed it. It was just beautiful. We were there at a time when it was really hot, but it wasn't too bad since they had a lot of shaded queues and the buildings were air conditioned, like the restaurants and the shops were air conditioned, so that was nice. Yeah, Disney is the best with dietary. Yeah, you are so right. So like I said, they probably are somewhat accommodating. I don't know if they are as much as the American parks are, but they are great overall. So anything else? All right. Well, my friends, it was so fun to chat with you tonight, and I hope that has been helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful night, a magical night, a marvelous night, and I hope to see you back here next Monday in the Hawaii group to chat about the Big Island. Okay, have a great night. Bye.